Okay, first things first. The window is open because it's very warm in here. They are in the process of replacing the AC unit in the apartment, so you may hear some noise from outside. We just have to kind of deal with it for now. I want to talk about Rise of the Ronin because it is just a little over a week from releasing, and I have my concerns based on all the previews I've been watching, different YouTubers, whether it's the major creators like IGN and GameSpot, and then the much smaller individual content creators. They've gotten early access to the game, they've done their previews, they were given specific gameplay footage to show from Sony, and I want to go based on that to explain my concerns. Now, it's not so much in terms of combat. Of course, this game is going to have amazing combat given that it's made by Team Ninja. And from what I see so far, combat will be much more creative than what we got from something like Ghost of Tsushima, which this game clearly has some inspiration from. And I did also hear some negative opinions on combat where it's not as creative in terms of button combinations, is more so of a one button combo type of thing. But in terms of the characters' movements with the combat, that seems pretty impressive to me. But my main concerns here is mostly with the environments and the graphics and performance. When they first showed the gameplay during the state of play or whatever they were doing with that PlayStation event or whatever, there was a lot of crazy pop in and texture pop in and really low resolution stuff that we saw. And if you didn't notice it, or you're claiming that it's not a thing, you're kind of just lying to yourself because it's clearly there, and a few people have talked about that issue as well. It does show signs of it not being on par with current gen PS5 games, and it's a PS5 exclusive. And there is that kind of stereotype or that kind of belief that they have to live up to, that hype of it's a PlayStation exclusive, so it has to be great. Not every PlayStation exclusive is amazing. Forspoken wasn't great. There was the Godzilla game on PS4 that was terrible. The Medieval remaster was terrible on PS4. Sackboy on PS5 is okay. It's not an amazing groundbreaking game. Returnal was a disaster at launch. So not every PlayStation exclusive will launch as a success story. But considering this game is PS5 only, not PS4, and you have games that came out before this, like Horizon Forbidden West, which was a PS4 and PS5 title, looks far superior than this game in many different aspects. Ghost of Tsushima was a PS4 title before it got ported over to the PS5, and that game looks far superior visually and performance-wise. Now, if you're someone who says they don't care about graphics and all that stuff, you're kind of lying as well, because those are the same people who would take a game that looks crappy and they say, oh, this game looks terrible, I don't want to play it because the graphics are so bad. But then they go around and say, oh, I don't care about graphics and performance, I only care about the gameplay. I feel like graphics should not be a topic of discussion unless we're talking about the Nintendo Switch, like Tears of the Kingdom, for example. But a game on PS5 from Team Ninja should not look this horrible, especially in 2024. Now, it's more so that the colors look flat, the textures are a bit flat, it's not as vibrant as other games like Horizon Forbidden West and Ghost of Tsushima. So that is a major concern. Aside from that, combat difficulty may not be a big concern for me. It's not necessarily going to be a full-on Souls-like difficult challenge. There will be levels of difficulty you can try to make the game a bit more accessible for players who are not Souls fans, which is fine for people like me. I'm not a Souls player, so I'm really looking forward to that type of option. But I also am curious about traversal because there is a few different methods of traversal. You have horseback riding, you have the grapple, and gliding. I am really looking forward to the grapple and the gliding, but it looks pretty slow. I understand the timeline this game takes place in, and it's not going to be like Batman Arkham Knight, for example, but it looks pretty damn slow, and horseback riding looks really stiff and weird, kind of funny looking, and that could be a problem for your main method of traversal. If it doesn't work in a really smooth, intuitive format, then you kind of lose that whole aspect of traversal being, intuitive and fluent and just not a problem. I don't want anything in the game for traversal to be a chore. It should be fun and engaging, especially if you're going to be using your grapple and then glide and then do another grapple point to get more speed and glide even further. Stuff like that should be fun, and I don't know what's going to happen with the final game with that type of traversal. Now, I have seen the previews saying that the game is mostly not terrible, but not amazing. It's kind of just okay, like a 6 or 7 rating is what I'm expecting the game will be receiving from the previews that I've seen. Some have said the game is pretty great, and I think that's more so for the Souls-like fans who love the combat of the Souls game. Like I said, I'm really interested in the combat mainly in terms of how amazing and intuitive it could be, especially when you have both close range weaponry and now long range weaponry. This is a different timeline from Ghost of Tsushima, completely different timelines, far apart in terms of years. So of course you will have those weapons that exist in this game that don't exist in Ghost of Tsushima, and I want to see how that plays a role in the gameplay itself. As for co-op, I did hear there's a co-op mode. I don't think there is co-op free roaming. I think it's bring a co-op buddy into your mission, do the mission, and then you part ways onto the next mission. But it is a 4-player co-op, which again, just like Ghost of Tsushima, has a 4-player co-op mode. So that inspiration that you're kind of seeing there. Aside from that, really, the story, I don't know what the story is going to be in terms of like, am I excited for the story? Do I not really care? I hope it's really engaging and interesting to view, but I don't know if it's going to be, it might be a long game either way, so hopefully it's not boring throughout the long game. They say that the map is supposed to be pretty massive. They say that these areas you can explore can be pretty large, these cities that you can explore. But again, if the cities are not very filled with people, they're kind of dead and empty, it's kind of pointless in my opinion. That's kind of why I hated Breath of the Wild. It was an empty world. The world was massive, but just so empty. But luckily with Tears of the Kingdom, there was all that creativity and the islands in the sky and the depths under the ground, and the story is what kept me going with Tears of the Kingdom. I put 200 hours in Tears of the Kingdom, probably the only game I ever played to put 200 hours into it. So I want to be able to explore what this game has to offer if it's fun to explore. If it's not, then it's kind of a dead end type of thing anyway. And for a game to be $70 now today, $75 with tax, you kind of want to be smart with what you buy and what you don't buy. So this is a game that I'm going to be waiting for a review to come out, all the reviews from all the major, content creators, see what the final verdict is for this game, and if it's going to be worth my time now or wait till it goes on sale. If not, I know Stellar Blade comes out maybe in April or May. I can't remember which one exactly, one of those 2 months. But I was a bit excited for Rise of the Ronin, a little bit excited, not like majorly excited like Spider-Man when Spider-Man 2 came out, but I had some hopes for the game and they kind of got down with, everything I've seen so far. But again, it's just some concerns I have about buying the game, and I want to know what you guys think. Am I right to be concerned with the visuals and performance? Because that's a big thing for me. I like visuals and performance. I like a game that looks great and performs well. And if it doesn't look that great, it's kind of going to turn me away, honestly. But let me know what you think in the comments. And are you going to get this game or not? Are you going to skip it, wait for a sale? Let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys on the next one. I know I've been out for a while. Life just happens. But we're trying to go full swing. Again, I keep saying this shit every time. But that's my video. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.